Hi, I'm Jim Bopp, and I'd like to tell you why I support Curtis Hill for Attorney General. I've been a conservative activist my entire life. From my law firm in Terre Haute, I've represented most of the major national conservative groups, such as the National Right to Life Committee, Focus on the Family, Club for Growth, the Heritage Foundation, and I'm now a campaign finance attorney for the Trump campaign. I have been politically active. I've served as Vigo County Republican chairman, state party treasurer, national committeeman, and while on the Republican National Committee, I served as its vice chairman. I've handled many First Amendment cases for conservative groups all over the United States. I represented the Republican National Committee recently in a successful case in the United States Supreme Court, and I was an architect of Citizens United, which I'm proud to say President Obama condemned in one of his State of the Union addresses. 4 years ago, I supported Curtis Hill for Attorney General. What I saw was a principled, full spectrum conservative and one who had promised to have the, quote, courage to lead, end quote. And I have a yellow t shirt that's a bit faded now to prove it. As we have come to know at our chagrin, politicians rarely fulfill their promises, but Curtis Hill has. Curtis has taken numerous actions as Attorney General to promote and defend conservative principles and policies. He has defended the right to life, religious freedom, sought to stop sanctuary cities, defended the Second Amendment, protected taxpayers, fought federal government overreach, and sought to strike some of the worst of the Obama administration's policies. But most importantly, he has the courage to do this. Principles really don't matter without the courage to carry them out. And of course, there are lots of politicians that find excuses not to pursue conservative policies. It could be personal ambition or media criticism or public pressure. But Curtis has been undeterred. He has stood strong for conservative policies and he's acted on them. But like all of us, Curtis is not perfect. And I have found since I organized my high school in 1964 for Barry Goldwater for president that no politician is perfect. Each has their own flaws and have committed mistakes. But no one is perfect. We all have flaws. We have all made mistakes. And yes, we have all offended someone. And we all know that Curtis Hill has made at least one mistake. He was in a crowded bar late at night celebrating with a bunch of Democrat politicians the end of a legislative session where several women were offended because he touched them. Now, I know Curtis Hill, and he would never do anything to offend someone, but apparently he did, and he has humbly accepted the punishment he has received for that. But this one incident was grossly exaggerated and overblown. The most serious false charge that was made against him was that he committed not just an offensive touching, which is the definition of battery, but sexual battery. He, of course, vigorously defended himself against this false charge. But now we know the truth. That charge was totally false. The hearing officer appointed by the Indiana Supreme Court, a Democrat former Chief Justice of the Indiana Supreme Court, heard all of the testimony and found that Curtis Hill did not commit a sexual battery, and the Indiana Supreme Court unanimously agreed. And a Democrat special prosecutor who interviewed all of the witnesses rejected this false claim and refused to file any criminal charges whatsoever. So why was this incident blown so way out of proportion? Well, moderates fear Curtis because he is a successful conservative politician. But Democrats hate him because he is a Republican and a conservative while being black. So we are told by some within the Republican Party that we should not renominate Curtis Hill because the Democrats will go hard after him. Yes, these are the same Democrats that are condemning themselves for their white privilege and demanding diversity and inclusion by everyone else, who will try hard to defeat the only black statewide elected official with a white candidate. And these are the same Democrats who will say whatever to videos, not just one, but dozens, of Joe Biden with his hands all over women and even young girls he does not know or just met, with his face snuggled up against their head and neck, sniffing their hair. Look at their faces in these videos. These women and girls are cringing. Some seem violated, and they are all offended. I just don't think Republicans should should cower in the face of Democrat threats and do their dirty work for them. So I continue to enthusiastically support Curtis Hill for Attorney General. He has fulfilled his promise to be a conservative and courageous Attorney General, and as a result, he has earned our support.